Hello, have you ever wondered which border is the hardest to cross? The one on a map or the one that runs through our very core? Today, we're going to talk about the show Crash Landing on You, but this won't be a typical review. We're going to look at it as a map of our own inner world. Because I'm convinced this story is less about North and South and more about the constant dialogue happening inside each of our souls. And I promise you, if we walk this path together to the end, we'll find a key, the key to understanding this story's ending, why it isn't sad but wise, and how that wisdom can help us find a little more peace with ourselves. So, let's begin. Let's remember Yoon at the very beginning. Successful, wealthy, always on top. She wears a perfect mask, one that the psychologist Carl Jung called the persona. It's our public face, our role in society. But what's behind that facade? A life where family is a battle for inheritance and sleep only comes with a pill. There's a crucial moment that's often overlooked. Shortly before her flight, she's standing on a bridge in Switzerland, and we understand she's on the edge. Her soul is suffocating in its gilded cage. And then the tornado happens. It's not just a weather event. In the concept of the hero's journey, described by the mythologist Joseph Campbell, this is the call to adventure. It's as if her own subconscious is staging a rescue mission, tearing her from her familiar world, and it throws her directly into the arms of her own shadow. The shadow, according to Jung, is our personal basement. Everything we've hidden away there, our vulnerability, our simplicity, our fears. In this story, North Korea is the perfect image of this shadow world. A world where her status means nothing, where she has to be not strong but alive, not in control but trusting. This crash landing is a painful but life-saving push, a call that her soul could no longer ignore, and in this shadow world, she meets him, Captain Jeong-hyeok. Their connection is the heart of the story. In Jungian psychology, this can be described as a meeting of the Anima and Animus. Simply put, the Animus is our inner masculine aspect, logic, structure, action. Sayori's is very well developed, but her Anima, her inner feminine aspect, empathy, vulnerability, warmth, is deeply suppressed. Captain Ri is her mirror image. His masculine will to act was wounded. He gave up on his dream. But his capacity for care, for empathy, is immense. What does he do? He cooks her noodles, lights her candles, ties her hair. He awakens the part of her she had long forgotten, and she, in turn, awakens his will to fight, to live, to act. But the healing happens beyond just the two of them. The entire world of the North Korean village works on her. The village women, the ajumas, become the supportive female circle she never had, and his soldiers are a model of loyal, if funny and reliable male friendship. The village is a living organism that thaws her frozen soul. For the first time she feels not like a lonely queen, but a part of something real. To become a hero, you need a dragon, and in this story, the dragon is Inspector Cho Cheol-kang. He isn't just a villain. In psychology, he would be called the archetypal shadow, the embodiment of cold, ruthless destruction. It's his pressure that becomes the fire in which our heroes are forged. To better understand their growth, we can look at them through the lens of the 12 archetypes, a system described by Carol S. Pearson. Ri Jeong-hyeok starts as the everyman, serving the system, and the caregiver, caring for his men. But the threat forces him to become the warrior and the hero. Seri starts as the ruler, managing her business, and the orphan, alone in her family. By going through her trials, she becomes the wise ruler, one who knows the value of human life and warmth. Their enemy unwittingly helped them grow into their true potential. And so, we are here, at the end, and we return to Campbell's hero's journey. The final stage of this journey is the return with the elixir. The elixir isn't a magic potion. It's the wisdom, the gift the hero brings back to the world after their travels. So what is the elixir of this story? 2 weeks a year in Switzerland. Their wisdom is this: love isn't about dissolving into one another. It's the art of holding space. They can't be together constantly because each of them is an entire world. If one had absorbed the other, love would have vanished because they fell in love with each other exactly as they were. Switzerland isn't a compromise. It is their sacred space. It's not your world or my world. It's our world, a place where each person arrives whole with their entire life and where they don't have to prove anything. Now let's forget the show for a second. Think about your own life. Within us, we also have our own north and south, our logic and our feelings, our responsibilities and our dreams, our inner critic and our inner child. And how often do we try to silence one part for the sake of the other? How often do we wage this little civil war inside ourselves, trying to choose what's more important, what we should do or what we want to do? The show offers us another way, not the path of struggle, but the path of acceptance, the path of creating your own inner Switzerland. It's that moment when you allow yourself to be both strong and vulnerable at the same time, when your inner manager sits down at the negotiating table with your inner artist, when you stop choosing between your different parts and start looking for a way to connect them, to create that space within yourself, to give a voice to all your parts, to listen to them, to understand that they are not enemies, but pieces of a whole, of you. To feel that is to take a huge step toward yourself, to stop seeing your soul as a battlefield and start seeing it as a unique, complex, and beautiful landscape. That is the real journey to your soul, to yourself. What did you feel when you watched the ending? Let me know in the comments. I'm truly curious. And subscribe if you want to continue talking about what matters through the lens of film. Thank you for walking this path with me. See you soon.